guys, it's Kyariko here, back with another speed build. This is a speed build of a city vampire's modern apartment. Or I guess a modern vampire city apartment, because the apartment itself is not actually that modern in terms of, you know, the furnishing and stuff. It's kind of got like a classical, creepy design, and you'll see along the way what I mean by creepy, because there's like a lot of skulls and weird things in this build that you'll see. But I had a lot of fun doing this. It's been a little bit since I've done an apartment build. At least it feels that way for me. I'm not sure when the last apartment build that I did was, but it feels like it's been a little bit. So it was nice to go back and do another apartment, because I really do like apartments. They're one of my favorite things to do, and that's mainly because I kind of not a huge fan of doing like architecture and exterior design, just because I feel like it's not my strongest build skill. So apartments kind of just take that pressure off of me, and I can just focus on interior design. So yeah, I really do like doing apartments, and I'm glad to be back and doing another apartment. This build is not really inspired, but, you know, coincidentally inspired by the Vampire Weekend album, which is Modern Vampires of the City, which is pretty much what this build is. It's a Modern Vampire of the City build. Maybe I'll call it that, I don't know. I don't want Vampire Weekend to sue me. But yeah, this was a really fun build to do. I'll talk about certain choices I made along the way, because there's gonna be some weird things that you'll see, and I'll be like, what? And I'll have to explain. But yeah, here I'm just setting up the living room area. The color palette I went for was kind of this, I had certain pops of color, but in general I wanted everything to be kind of undercurrented with like these blacks and grays and browns and kind of like dead dark colors, but still have these pops of like colorful pinks and sometimes reds and greens to like bring some life into the build and some, you know, unique looks and colors in the interior design. But I'm setting up the living room here. This is, like I said, a vampire's home, so what I decided to do is not include any really modern technology. There's a fireplace, even the fridge and the stove are old, all the appliances in the bathroom are old. There's not really even a computer in this build. Instead I give this person a typewriter. And that's because I imagine that this vampire's been alive for a very long time, and that they just they haven't really adapted to modern technology, so they prefer old school technology. And you might have saw there for a second, but I put a skull on the coffee table. I had this idea that this particular vampire likes collecting skulls of their victims. It's kind of morbid, but you know, this particular vampire is not exactly a good vampire. Like they eat people, that's their thing, they do it, no shame, that's just who they are, what they do. So there's a lot of skulls in this build because that's the kind of vampire they are. I might do a character build for this vampire just because I really like this apartment, and a character build to go along with it might be really cute, but we'll see. Here I'm just setting up, you know, what's it called, paintings and stuff like that, because I chose my metal tone to be gold in most of this build, just because I feel like gold is pretty classic and ornate, and I feel like a vampire who's lived for a very, very long time probably accumulated a lot of wealth just because they've been alive for so long. So they can probably just afford, you know, everything gold, was what I was imagining. And then I set up this dining area over here where they could bring their vampire friends and like eat a person and stuff like that. And on this table I'm setting up some flowers, and you'll also see in a second I end up putting a skull on the dining table as well. Yes, like I said before, there's a lot of skulls in this build. There's like this little bird skull that I put, and then I put a human skull there too. So little centerpiece, I guess, for the table. Putting in another rug. I really like these rugs. I don't know what kind of rugs you call these, but they're really pretty. I put in a mirror, and then I realized that vampires don't see themselves in the mirror, so I was like, well, that's pointless, but it's pretty, so there you go. I don't know if that's a mechanic in The Sims. I actually never really noticed, but do vampire Sims appear in the mirrors or not? It'd be really cool if they figured out a way to like not make those Sims appear in the mirrors, but I feel like that's a detail that they would not pay attention to, because God knows this game is not necessarily focused on gameplay details. But I don't know, maybe I don't give them enough credit, we'll see. But here I'm just setting up the kitchen. It's a pretty big kitchen. I went with these counters because they were kind of worn and old, and I like the idea that this person was maybe in this particular apartment for a long time. Maybe they were one of the first tenants and they just never left, I guess, or something like that, because they just like the apartment so much, and maybe they've had it like rent controlled for like 500 years or something like that. I don't know. but I like these old cabinets. So on this shelf, you'll see I put a teddy bear, some headphones, and I ended up putting like a pair of keys or something, because I imagine that those are things that this vampire like found on their victims, you know, and just kind of collected it like little souvenirs. I said this would be dark. You were warned. So the teddy bear kind of indicates that they probably ate a child, but you know, it's fine, whatever. And then I put like a whole bunch of skulls above that, and then up there I just put, you know, other little kitchen decorations. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna put in, let's see, what else did I put in? I think some flowers, yeah, just some roses I thought were really pretty. Some curtains, because they're gonna be burned by the sun, obviously, so they need curtains for protection. And then I just put in a little kitchen dining nook thing, I guess, just to fill up that big empty space in the center of this kitchen. And then let's see, we're going to, over here I end up putting in a little shelf area, and then I decorate this pretty similarly. Again, you're gonna see a skull. Yep, there it is. And then just some other little decorations here and there, to indicate the dark powers of this house, I guess. Kitchen things, kitchen trash can, books, crates, I don't know, things I thought that looked old and like someone, probably vampire, would have. And then I put this little pie on the table, which I figured obviously is a person, it's a people pie. And then I'm just gonna decorate the stove a little bit more. You'll see I put some more ham, quote unquote ham. It's really just people, is what I imagined. With some mashed potatoes. And then, let's see, what are we doing? Over here, we're gonna put just more decorations. Yeah. Let's see, I ended up putting like this wire thing here, just to, again, a little addition to make the apartment seem a little bit old, like there's like exposed wiring. I thought about like making a gallery wall of this person's like college degrees, because maybe they went to college like a million times because they could. But I ended up not doing that because I couldn't find a degree that had the wood grain that matched. That's how anal I am. It's like I abandoned that idea because I could not find the right wood grain. And then just setting up the bathroom. Candles by the bathtub, obviously, because this is a spooky place. And then we're gonna move on to the bedroom. This is a pretty fast build now that we're going through it. It's just a 1-bedroom build, so that's not surprising, but this was definitely very fun to do. I love this apartment. I would probably live in this apartment, although I personally prefer more colorful interiors, but this is still pretty dope. Setting up the bed here. I love this canopy. In this game, the vampires sleep in coffins, and, you know, in lore, they sleep in coffins too, but I just like the bed aesthetic, and I also kind of forgot about the coffin thing, so there's no coffins in this build, but why would they need to sleep in a coffin? It doesn't really make sense. Like, what would happen if they didn't? Why do they even need to sleep at all, you know? I don't really get it, but I like this bed. It's nice. Just setting up little decorations to make it seem used, as always. Let's see, a book over here, and then I'm just gonna put some lights by the bed. A lot of lights in this build, a lot of gold lights, very pretty. Rug, gonna put in a little bench at the end of the bed, and then we're gonna put in like cabinets and wardrobes and stuff like that. A mirror above this dresser, almost like a vanity. And then we're just gonna decorate that pretty fast. And I'm pretty sure I put another skull on there, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, I put a candle, that's nice. Let's see. A hat, okay. A hand, okay. I don't think there's gonna be a skull on here. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, that's good. I mean, there's a hand, but, you know, it's fine. And then over here, we're gonna set up a little desk area. Like I said before, this person has a typewriter, not a computer, because they're not really vibing with the modern tech. And then I put a skull on the desk also, because this person, or this vampire, eats a lot of people. That's just their lifestyle, I guess. Anyways, here are the screenshots. This was fun to do. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a character build for this spooky, evil, modern city vampire. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.